We're declaring the rights of the River Cam because it's over-abstracted, it's regularly polluted, both with sewage and runoff from farms and from roads, and there's a massive building agenda in this city which will take the last drops of water from the river, and it will die in a few years' time.
Sit with me. Look at this growth media of life, the river beside us. This is the start of an artisan republic, the creation of our midnight bread, as we soothe the deep textured wisdom of her chalk stream source. I say to them, stop. Do you see what you're doing? Can't you say sorry? I want to thump the table. The transcript is wrong. It was written before the meeting even happened. This is not a community drama. I say to them, stop. She is our honey family, our vitamins and corn. You have pushed her to the thermostat break point. Don't tell me it will be okay. It will not be okay. Leave me alone.
And so we feel it's time to stand up against what's happening to our river. So we're going to declare the rights of the River Cam. This is part of a global movement, an international movement. I've taken the Declaration of Rights of the River Cam from another document, which is the Universal Declaration of River Rights, but I've shortened it, I've simplified it, I've made it less full of jargon, and hopefully it's something that we can read together. We'll try and sort of keep pace with each other if we can. But I'll start. And just join in with me as I read. Declaration of Rights of the River Cam. Knowing that rivers are essential to life. Rivers are essential to all life. They support a glorious diversity of species and ecosystems, feed wetlands and other aquatic habitats, deliver life-giving nutrients to coastal estuaries and oceans, and carry sediments to river deltas that should be teeming with life. Rivers play a vital role in the Earth's water cycle. This requires careful maintenance of the surrounding river catchments, floodplains, and wetlands. People are dependent on rivers for clean water, drinking, sanitation, fertile soil, food sources, recreation and culture, and nourishment of the human spirit.
Hi everyone. As someone who's been speaking about and campaigning for the rights of rivers, it's honestly such a wonderful thing to be here and to see people start to put those rights into a reality, and to see it start happening on the ground is a really wonderful thing. It's also amazing because, as far as I'm aware, this is the first event of its kind. So the River Cam is the first where a group of local people have got together and declared its rights and sought to be guardians of that river. You're very much trailblazers, and I hope that what you do will inspire others to do the same thing, because the rights of nature is something that really groups around the world are inspiring each other. Some of you may know about the rights of nature discourse that's arising. In the last sort of 2 decades, it's really become a much greater thing around the world. So rivers in Bangladesh and also in New Zealand, a river called the Wanganui River was given its rights. And one of the difficulties we face in the UK is a political and indeed cultural situation that the environment and the rights of nature are not particularly well thought of by those who govern us.
Recognizing that our river is under threat, the threats to our rivers are connected to the climate and biodiversity emergencies
threatening all life on Earth. Our river is polluted with raw sewage, agriculture runoff of herbicides, pesticides and nutrients, and plastic and other waste from industry and human lack of care. Such pollution endangers the health of river ecosystems, human health, and our interaction with the river. Consistent flows are vital to the survival of the river's ecosystems and the ecosystems of surrounding banks and wetlands. The excessive extraction of water from the aquifers that feed the river Cam and its tributaries has dangerously reduced its natural flow and threatens its future as a globally treasured chalk stream. The river has been adversely affected for generations by human changes to its banks and encroachment on its floodplains. A planned massive increase in buildings and infrastructure will further affect habitats, reduce biodiversity, imperil fish populations, fundamental to downstream ecosystem health. It will directly affect the flow of the river and its streams and the level of groundwater. It will exacerbate climate change, grounds on river health through excessive use of cement and concrete. National and international laws are inadequate to protect the health of rivers and river basins. These laws fail to ensure the provision of adequate supply of clean water to prevent future living things and their ecosystems.
Locked away with no sunlight and no moonlight, but I know that you're by my side. Locked away, they can't see us, but they will hear us. Down the corridors our voices will roar, 'cause they know we can't stop. And we know we won't stop for anyone, 'cause this is not a choice anymore. Walking into the light, away from the dark.
Acting in solidarity with communities across the earth. We act in recognition and respect for the indigenous communities, people in faith, place and love. And that rivers have a special place in the recognition of these rights. We recognise the sacrifice that many have made, killed in their defence of nature, and that in declaring rights of our river, we act in their support. We are part of a growing worldwide movement seeking to reverse environmental degradation through the recognition of nature rights, including river rights. In sharing rights with rivers, we show our determination to end the human exploitation of nature and instead to live in harmony with it.
It was only in the Fergal Sharkey meeting in 2020 that I realised just the extent to which we were in trouble when I found out that in 2019 not a single river in England reached good environmental status. Every river in England had less than good environmental status. That was the first shocking thing for me. That was the quantifiable thing that shocked me. The other thing in that meeting that shocked me was far more depressing in my opinion. Fergal Sharkey showed us some pictures of chalk streams around Cambridgeshire from a few decades ago, let's say there's the 80s and the 90s. beautiful chalk streams, pristine, clear water flowing through them, that you can see beautiful green grass around them, and you can see this waving water grass in them, and you can even see some fish every now and again. And then he showed us some pictures of the same chalk streams in the present day, completely gone, completely dry, not a single drop of water. They have been literally reduced to ditches. And that's when something clicked in my mind. Because I had walked through Cambridgeshire and I'd seen ditches that looked so much like them. And I had assumed that they were only ditches, some sort of man-made thing, accident. I didn't realise they were supposed to be one of the most pristine and unique river systems in the world. I did not realise they were supposed to have pristine, clear water flowing through them, so good quality that you could stand by the banks and see straight to the river bed. And we need to do something serious to tackle this water crisis, because quite frankly, I feel my generation has been robbed of these beautiful pillars to the Cambridgeshire environment, of these chalk streams that have built the Cambridge's culture. And if we do not take meaningful action immediately to control Cambridge's growth, to control the abstraction from chalk aquifers, if we do not take meaningful action to give back to the local environment, very soon, future generations may well miss out on the Cam itself. Thank you.
We therefore declare that the Cam, its tributaries and aquifers have the following rights arising from their very existence in nature. The right to flow and to be free from over-abstraction. The right to be free from pollution. The right to perform its essential functions of flooding, moving sediment,
recharging groundwater and sustaining biodiversity. The right to lead and be fed by sustainable aquifers. The right to native biodiversity. The right to restoration. The right to maintain its connections with other streams and rivers. Declaring the rights of the River Cam are at the same time declaring the rights of the rivers. We acknowledge especially the rights of the river Cam, tributaries,
we pledge to act as guardians of the River Cam, reducing the threats to its health and survival. We call on all people to engage with the river in a relationship of respect and stewardship, and to cease its exploitation.
And so, if we have to wait for the courts or Parliament to give rights to nature, we may be waiting for a long time. And it's why it's so important for ordinary people like you to stand up, decide what the rights of rivers should be, declare them, and act as if they exist. And that is a really crucial part, in fact, the most crucial part of what is happening here and what is happening today. Declaring the rights of the rivers and the ceremony that we're having today is great, but if it just ends at that, it has absolutely no effect whatsoever. And in many ways, today is almost a perfect example of something which has both absolutely no effect, but potentially a massive effect. And the extent to which it's one or either of those is entirely up to you. From a legal perspective, it has no effect whatsoever. The laws governing that river are exactly the same after 6 o'clock than they were before. But if each of you genuinely, when you declare this, hold it to be true, hold it in your hearts, and then begin to act as if it is true, using all that you peacefully can to enact these rights, I believe that this declaration could have a very large impact indeed, both on the River Cam and also on other rivers around the UK who will see your example and then act upon it.